Hey everybody, welcome to our next Adopt a Tree video. Today we're going to concentrate on, well, the inside of a tree and to see how old trees are. Just like humans and animals, trees grow not only taller but a little wider, and they create these really cool patterns on the inside of them that let us know how old they are. But before we even get to the pattern, I kind of want to think back to our first video when you adopted your tree. There's my tree right there if you want to say hi to it. It's finally sunny, so we're able to hang out. But when you adopted it, I then gave you the assignment to label the tree parts, things like trunk and branches and roots. Well, the inside of our tree cookie, that's what I'm going to call this little thing for the rest of the video. The inside of the tree, so this is like a cross section of it, also has some parts. I'm only going to tell you 3 for now, and then at the end of the video, I will challenge you to some other parts of the tree. But you have the heartwood, which is the middle, that dark spot right there. Your rings that you see here, that's called the sapwood. And then on the outside, you've got bark. So heartwood, sapwood, bark. Keep those in mind. Now you may have noticed when I said the word sapwood, I described the inside as rings. So check this out. Let me grab another one that looks similar yet different. What are some things you notice about these two? Are there any similarities, any differences? This will be a good spot to pause if you want to really check these out. Yeah, so some things I notice is this tree cookie, the rings on it are far apart and kind of wide. And this one has little teeny tiny rings. Whew. Could you imagine trying to count those? Whoa, did I just say tree rings and counting? Bingo. So that's how you can tell how old a tree is once it falls down or is cut down. And you get like a log or a cross section of it, you can count these rings and they tell you how old they are. Now you might wonder, how did those rings get there, Ashley? Well, what happens is the light part is when it grows, and then the dark is when it stops. What are some things that trees need? Sun, nutrients, air, and water. So you can think of this, if they're getting their needs, such as water, they're going to have a good growing season. So not only are we going to be able to tell the age, you can look at a tree cookie and tell what kind of life it lived and what kind of nutrients and water, and if it got all of its needs. Now, how you can tell how old a tree is by a tree cookie and by the rings is all you have to do is count them, right? So just like humans who get taller and bigger, trees will get taller. We see that, but they also get rounder and rounder. So if you want, let's count this one together. Let's see me start from here. So this tree was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our tree for this tree cookie was 7 years old. How cool is that? Now, your Adopt a Tree assignment for today, I have 2 of them for you. The first one is you are going to find a tree cookie somewhere. Now, I can put some pictures at the end of this video, or I'll hold some of these up so you can look at different tree cookies and you can use some of my examples. But I went on a walk yesterday and I found lots of trees that have been cut down, so you can just look at the stumps and count the rings. So I want you to find a tree stump or a tree cookie. Maybe if you have a fireplace or a wood-burning stove, you can find some logs in your backyard. And I want you to draw it, put down how many rings it has, count the rings, and label those 3 tree parts we talked about. So heartwood, sapwood, and bark. Your second assignment is to make a tree cookie selfie. So you know how you take your phone and you're like, geez, selfie, and it's all about you? You're gonna make a tree cookie that represents you. So how many rings should it have? Well, how old you are, all right? And then you can add anything else you want. Those of you who like a challenge, I have 2 extra challenges for you, 1 for each of those assignments. So the first one is I want you to research and learn about 3 new parts of the inside of the tree. That is the xylem, the phloem, and the cambium. So you can do that a couple ways. You can research them and learn all about them, or you can just figure out where they're supposed to go on the tree and you can label your parts and learn about it later. But 3 whole new parts for your tree cookie. And then for that tree cookie selfie, I made one for me. I really like coloring. What I want you to do is I want you to almost change your, make your tree cookie into a map about you. So you'll see I have a key over here because I have different symbols in here. Things like circles represent when I went to new national parks, or hearts represent when my brother and sister were born. And then my ring colors, I have normal brown ones, but I also added some color. So some of those rings represent when I was in school, some of them represent when I moved, I want you to do that. I want you to make your rings. Not only are you drawing how old you are and putting those rings, but what are different things that happen in your life that you want to represent in your tree cookie. And then for the bark, so the outside part here, what makes you you? It can be hobbies, it can be things that are important to you, things that you love, maybe things that you don't like, but what makes you you? And I did a mix of words and symbols, so things like family and friends and words. But then I love basketball and I love to read, so I put those as symbols. You got it? That is your Adopt a Tree challenge, your extra challenge for this week.